So we are here in El Paso, Texas. This is an interesting story. Harry Hussmann is actually the tallest man we've interviewed yet. And we went to the chiropractor today to get my hips aligned and my leg lengthened and all that. And I got to talking to the chiropractor, Larry, and he was wearing a bracelet just like this. And we got to talking about why I was riding across the country. Of course, I told him about Pablo and our mission. And he said, well, my friend that I went to high school with, pretty sure that he and his sister were involved in cancer as kids, and he lost his daughter to cancer recently. And now this man is here. We talked on the phone. He agreed to come over and talk to us. And here's Harry Hussmann. So you're a cancer survivor.
Yes. Yeah, I had a Wilms Tumor, kidney tumor when I was 3, and at the time they didn't really know what it was. They just took it out, and they didn't do chemo, they didn't do radiation, and I was one of the lucky ones that survived. And then my sister had a Wilms tumor at age 5. They took hers out, did a lot of chemo, a lot of radiation, and she survived. She's 44. I didn't know that mine was a Wilms tumor, and we found out later when Margaret was diagnosed with it that it runs in the family. It's called familial Wilms. So she was diagnosed at age 13, which is pretty late. I mean, I think once you hit 17, there's no chance you'll ever have a Wilms tumor. But she was diagnosed at 13, and we fought it for about 2.5 years, and we lost her January 24th, 2001.
So just about 6 months before Pablo passed away, June 27th.
Exactly.
And you guys live here in El Paso?
We're in El Paso, yeah.
And I always like to tell people what people have to do to get treatment for their children for cancer. So you guys did not get all the treatment here.
No, we were lucky. We had most of it was done here in El Paso. There's a pediatric oncology hospital here in Providence, and where we happened to take her when she had the pain in her side after a volleyball game, we happened to take her to Providence Hospital, which is the only pediatric oncology hospital in the area. So most of the stuff we did was here. However, when we had to do a stem cell transplant, they wanted to do stem cell transplant to try to take her immune system down to 0 and then redo it. We had to do that at MD Anderson, and in Houston. And so those are the 2 places we went, the two hospitals we used.
So I don't know if we can talk about this on an iPhone.
Okay.
But because I don't know. Here we are standing in a parking lot of a hotel. We've both lost children to cancer.
Yes.
We both have siblings who had cancer. Your sister made it, my brother didn't. And you yourself are a cancer survivor. It's like amazing. You said something to me inside that I want to repeat.
Sure.
So I remember that you said it, and one day when I go back and watch this video, I'll remember what you said. You're about 6 months longer in this game of losing a child to cancer. What's it been like? And what's it going to be like for me? 6 months from now?
Well, you're 3 months in.
Let's say 4 months.
It was difficult. I think the things I would tell you, a couple of books that really helped, and I thought they helped me a lot, were it was called When Bad Things Happen to Good People, which is about a rabbi, which is phenomenal. And the other book that I read that's pretty good was by Eckhart Tolle. It's called Stillness Speaks. I read a lot. The reading helped a lot. They always said get through the grieving process, that eventually you would think of the good things that happened in life, because my issue was I was always thinking of the death scene, the bad things that we had to go through, the negative things. And really, when you call, honestly, this is kind of cool, because today was the first day when I started printing those things out. I never printed out the things I was giving you in the newspaper. That I really started to look back on Margaret and think about how amazing she was and all the positive things that happened. So honestly, today was really a turning point for me, and it's been 9 months. So my wife's taking it very hard, and they say it can take years before you get over it. Obviously, every day you still think about it. Obviously, every day you still miss them. But today was really kind of a turning date, because I started thinking about the positive things more than the negative things, which is really cool. So I'm glad y'all bike to buy. Bike to buy.
Yeah. I want to just pull this out of the car while we're filming. Gary brought this whole file of El Paso Times did a story on Margaret, and they sold so many papers. They ended up doing a series on her, and then she wrote a children's book. Hope is here. She read Lance's book, It's Not About the Bike, and was inspired to communicate through words as well. She decided to write something from a child's perspective, a teenager in her case, for kids. I mean, look at how beautiful this is. And
and really the message.
There she is, right there.
It's been a great book because some schools have picked up on it, some other people picked up on it. But the message is, hope is here. That was the imaginary friend that she had that would come and keep her spirits up, which is really cool. And then also that at the end, Hope and Margaret went and helped. So it's keep your good attitude and also pass it along, share, do something, serve. So that was the message she wanted to get out. I think it's a pretty simple book, but it's a pretty powerful message.
Can't wait to read it tonight. And this message is exactly what
you have to read in Spanish.
I will practice. Chad, our mechanic, speaks Spanish fluently. This is Pablo was 6 days past his 6th birthday when he passed away. But this message of hope and keeping the childness, keeping that intact, and as Fred, who's filming us right now, knows, Pablo brought that joy. He was a magnet for goodness. And I swear to God, Pablo would go anywhere with us, and just the craziest things would happen in a good way. And he taught all of us. He inspired all of us. In his medical challenge, he put a big spotlight on what the hell are we here for? What's going on here? And sure, we could all choose to be down in the mouth and really negative and angry. Guys like you and I could be really PO.
Sure.
We could justify it. Most people would let us off the hook.
And was for a while too. So.
Well, I'm glad that you and I have met on a good day.
Yeah.
And I'm really, we've ridden 2,000 miles, and I realized when we had a day off here in El Paso.
It's been fun. I was laughing. Margaret always wanted to laugh. She loved orange because it was bright and cheerful. And she said when she was talking about a funeral, she didn't want anybody to cry. She didn't want any tears of boogers. She wanted everybody to celebrate, tell funny stories. And so the person that came up to talk to, the person that came up to do the introduction, August Lures, said there's not going to be tears and boogers today. Margaret wanted to put the fun back in the funeral.
Well,
so that was her attitude and kind of her spirit in a nutshell.
Pablo, I would say he would have been on that front if at 6 he might not have said that, but that was Pablo. I mean, he had fun, and I'm gonna say goodbye so we don't exceed our 10-minute limit on this.
Okay.
And thank you so much. It was nice to meet you.
You bet. You guys keep up the good work.
We'll put the information about all this on the site.
Got it.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
I want to show you.
Cool.